Good afternoon from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Joe Hunk. OTAs started today, and coming up a little bit in 3HL, you'll hear from Brian Callahan as well as Tyler Boyd as they spoke after practice was over with. The SEC baseball tournament going on right now as well. Florida and Vandy are supposed to get going in about an hour and a half. The winner will take on Tennessee tomorrow afternoon at 4:30. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Vols, the flagship station for your Tennessee Titans, as well as home to 3HL. This is 104.5 The Zone.
What's happening, people? Welcome into 3HL Radio on 104.5 The Zone. We are on the airwaves. Why? It's OTAs, baby!
Somebody's excited.
I am, Babs. I've been looking on X, what the people like to call Twitter. You can find us on there, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, too.
Twitch, please.
That's right. And I'm loving what I'm seeing in these highlights. Before we even get there, though, it's 88 degrees outside. It's hot. Cicadas are roaming. Footballs are throwing. And we got Babsy in the building.
That's Bullock. That's Bullock. Twitch, please. Twitch, please. Twitch, please.
We got football, Babsy.
Oh, my gosh. How fun is it? There's so many good sound bites and videos popping along. Great interview from Brad and Blaine just a second ago. We got so much good stuff. We got SEC baseball going on right now. So Peter Burns, Mr. SEC, will join us at some point today. We'll chat with Jim Wyatt as well, just to catch up on OTAs and what went on there. I know it was a little bit later than expected, so we had to push Jimmy back to about 5 o'clock. And then Mr. Monday Night himself, Bully, Keith Bulluck is going to join us. And this is an absolutely perfect day to have him here because we've got a lot of sound bites, some things that players said today. And you know Keith Bulluck as well as I do, and he's never going to mince words. He'll tell you exactly what he thinks. There's no filter. He doesn't care. He'll tell you exactly what he thinks. And we can pick his brain a little bit on, especially defensively, what this unit is going to look like with an OTA now in the books. Can you feel the excitement and like the positivity and excitement for the potential of what this group has? Yeah,
and I think a lot of it is dealing with, you got a new regime there, you got some new players there, you got spots up for availability when you go out there and you're competing. And also, we're going to tap in and see what the listeners are most interested in seeing. Like we ended the show with yesterday, and we didn't really get to dive into it, but I got something that I'm a little interested in, Babsy, that I want to know if the people agree with me. And it'll be a little later in pads, yeah, but it'll be good, man. But I was very excited to hear the veterans, the newcomers get up there and speak at the podium, the confidence that they were speaking with, and the way they raved about Coach Callahan. Yeah. You know, as far as being a player's coach, all of
how it's going down there.
They letting you go out there and figure it out on your own. Not, hey, man, you go right here. You go right. No, you got the opportunity. You're a vet. Go figure it out. Go do what you do. And now if you need some coaching, I got you too. But first,
and more of that will probably come.
And this is early. This is early on. I like that. I like when players get to figure it out because coaches can't go out there and play for you. All they can do is draw it up. You got to go out there and figure it out with your guys, build chemistry, camaraderie, all of that in the locker room, on the field, off the field. And it was good to hear Tyler Boyd speak as well. So it's a lot. It's like, what up, Hunk? Hunk behind the glass.
What up, Hunk?
It's like my Christmas over here. I've got baseball going on and football. This is amazing.
This is your Christmas.
Has that Vandy game already started?
No, it doesn't start till 4:30. Okay. So you have Alabama and South Carolina going right now in Hoover.
Don't worry, he's got it on.
I know.
You know Hunk ain't missing
Paying attention to every second of this thing.
Yeah. Right. Well, focus with us too, Hunk. Okay.
I'm focused. I'm multitasking.
Focusing.
So Hunk, you brought brought up a good question too, because I had doggy rehab earlier today, and so while Big Boy was doing his rehab, I was like refreshing Twitter to see videos and things from OTAs. And one of Hunk's questions was, which player have you been updating your social medias for, just so you can see video of them in action? You know, is there a specific player that Titans fans were like, I can't wait to see this guy in action? Because the video that I stuck on, that of course I'm like, I sent to Mr. Babs and everybody, you know, was a Will Levis, Tyler Boyd, throw and catch. And, you know, I mean, how much can you really tell from OTAs, right? We're we're starting it out. They're going slow. It's, you know, no defense, whatever. Routes on air, we'll take it. But that was the one I was like, oh, that connection is going to be a fun one for me.
You know, I like personally the Calvin Ridley one.
Yeah.
Him coming in and out of his cuts, like him
toe tapping.
There you go.
Toe drag
along the
swag.
sideline.
Toe
All
drag
of that.
swag.
Toe drag. Yeah,
All
toe
of that
drag
right there.
swag.
Stanky legging on the sideline. But that was
Stinky
interesting.
legging on the sideline.
cool.
That's a new one. I haven't heard it called that.
That was I'm sorry, Connor.
Is it not weird to everybody that since Tyler Boyd's been signed, like Dawn, you just mentioned him, we have talked less about Calvin Ridley, and this is a 1,000-yard receiver?
But I think the only reason is because we've had months to talk about Calvin Ridley.
Right. That's what I think. It was
and so
before.
now it's, okay, well, look, there's even another piece now.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think it's a piece that you didn't expect them to go get, right?
Yep.
It's
Not that we expected Calvin, but
it's a player in a position that you haven't really had in a while. Like you've had two good wide receivers with AJ and with Davis. Like you had that, but you didn't have that slot guy. You thought you did a couple of times.
Right.
But it didn't actually work out. So then you hear all this about Tyler Boyd and how he's like the number one slot receiver in the NFL.
Who was Davis?
Corey Davis.
Oh, Corey. Okay, all right. I got
Sorry, some people don't keep him in that category.
I was like,
look, he had a few good seasons before
top
AJ
10
got
pick.
there.
Yeah, we can talk about it.
Yeah,
No question.
but you have those.
What's he doing now, by the way? Is he done? Did he end up signing with somebody?
Here in Nashville coming up in a few months.
Yeah, I know his wife.
He's done those previously.
I know they live here still. I think they stayed here after he was drafted. I know at one point Baby Babs had swim class with their cute little one.
But since he got cut from the Jets, he's chilling. And I want to say he's probably chilling here.
Sometimes you got to chill.
What up, Corey? Give us a call.
Yeah, holler at us.
You can come hang.
615-737-1045. It's real easy.
Yeah. Anyway, so get in on that conversation. 615-737-1045. We can do that. We've got a ton of sound from today's OTAs to let you in on as well. We'll do that. I'll give away Sounds tickets in the 5 o'clock hour. And then our next guest is Bully at 4:20. So that means that you guys have an hour to call in and tell us what you think about the sound and the videos coming out of OTAs today, where the vets and the rooks are together. What were you most looking forward to? What did you update your social media for to be able to see certain players in today's OTA? We want all that. So go ahead, give us a call, 615-737-1045. We're going to have a fun show today. Mayor is off. He'll be back tomorrow. He's on assignment. Yeah. But he will be back tomorrow. Give us a call. Join in the show. It's going to be a fun one today. Dawn, Slay, Honk in the building. We're back after this.
What's happening, fellas? I know you're hearing me. Listen up clearly. If you've been feeling a little tired and a little grumpy and notice lack of motivation and drive, well, weight gain and loss of muscle mass, all of this can be a combined sign of low testosterone levels. You can get that checked. All you got to do is go to Low T Center. It's real simple. You get your results back in 25 minutes. Now, when you go in there, it's $25 to get your T levels tested. And like I said, $25, 25 minutes. You get your results right back. Make your health and quality of life a priority. Go to lowtcenter.com. Book your appointment online today. That's lowtcenter.com, reinventing men's healthcare. Welcome back into 3HL right here on 104.5 The Zone. We are rocking and rolling 615-737-1045. Sure you want to share your thoughts about what's going on in OTAs because it is cranked up and the heat is out there and the players were heated out there on the field, route running, flame throwing with balls. And you also had T'Vondre Sweat early on catching a little pass. It looked pretty cool. But outside of that, guys that were not out there. Let's get this part out the way. The little MIA out of the Big Jeff.
Don't panic.
Yeah, Harold Landry.
Keep your powder dry.
L'Jarius Sneed, T'Vondre Sweat, and NPF. So these guys were, and Callahan, he addressed a lot of these things in this press conference, and we'll be able to dive into that.
We can ask Jimmy about it.
Yeah, and then Jimmy.
NPF's probably rehabbing, right?
Yeah, I think a lot of people probably are banged up. Like, this is not a situation where you're going to push. This is more of a, we hear Coach Mack talk about it all the time. This is a time to get acclimated.
Each other, and really, what's the most important? In the building, in the playbook,
right.
Getting used to the staff and what their expectations are, this coaching staff, your position coaches, spending time with them, making sure you understand what's expected of you with the new regime.
That's right.
You know, that all of that it's just the initial time together, right?
The verbiage, all of that.
Yes.
That's some good stuff right
That's the really, really important stuff.
I thought you led off with a question. Which player have you been updating your social media to see? You said who? Tyler Boyd. I said Calvin Ridley. Hunk, who'd you say?
Oh, I was all about Ridley.
He was about Ridley, too.
All about Ridley.
Yeah, I thought that was a lot of good stuff. Who are you, the listeners? Who have you been watching? Because the media was the only one there. You heard from others. Who are you interested in seeing and really excited about, even though they're just running routes on air or just pass blocking, whatever they're doing on air? Skoronski, I thought, was some, listening to him speak, you can hear that year of maturity in him as well.
Really?
There's some really good things to say, I caught Teron Davenport. He was posting quite a bit, so that was pretty good catching him coming off the field.
So I forget what I was watching, but it was a national show.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it was Good Morning Football because they took a hiatus, right?
They only come right now. They're only coming on certain days.
I can't remember what it was, but it was like an in passing, and it might have been on social media, but it was like an in passing comment of how Peter Skoronski wasn't a good draft pick because he struggled last year. I'm like, really? Okay, maybe his stats, his number, his whatever didn't look amazing, but the dude almost died in the middle of the season and lost 30 pounds.
Yeah.
In 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, it's kind of understandable that he wasn't a rock star. Am I right?
No, it was.
I mean, his appendix blew up in his body.
Yeah, it wasn't that he just had an appendectomy. He had it, and when he got to the hospital, they said that if you would have been here later, it would have been exploded and you could have died.
I think it did rupture.
It may have ruptured.
They
at
just
the hospital.
luckily were there to get it enough
in time.
Which kind of, on a side note, by the way, tells you how tough of a guy he is because that is one of the most supposedly painful things ever. Mr. Babs had an emergency appendectomy, and he's like, that is one of the most painful things ever, and he. Waited till the last second to be like, well, maybe something's wrong.
Then 3 weeks later, I go back in and play football.
Right, exactly. So part of that annoyed me just with that thought process. Oh well, yeah, he didn't deliver like he was supposed to. I'm like, A, he's a rookie. Right. B, he's playing with an absolute dismal offensive line and a center that had to be so focused on his job because of his height or lack thereof.
Just to snap the ball.
And then C, had an emergency appendectomy in the middle of the season and lost 30 pounds and then came back and played. So all of that to say, I think he's okay. So you talk about his maturity. I think that's been there, but it's going to be fascinating to watch him with a center who, by all accounts, is going to be phenomenal.
And an experienced center that has played the position more than 5 years.
This leadership.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This ain't nobody trying to get used to the spot.
Right.
Yeah.
I understand the MPF thing, whatever, but I'm going to need him to spend as much time as physically possible with OJL.
OLJ.
In church.
OLJ.
So this is what I think
need
of.
him to
Be an offensive line church.
But
Yes.
before doing that, what was his? His was shoulder surgery. What was his injury? If I'm not mistaken,
I thought it was knee.
wasn't he? Whatever it is, this is what you're gonna have to learn too, and what's gonna come with this group. How textbook this group will be. One thing you can't get out there and do is be 80%. You know, you need to get 100%
No,
before
you're right,
going out there. Shoulder. So yeah. So we're seeing them go up against Big Bertha and Olga and whatever else the names are. And if you don't hit that thing just right, forget your strength. It ain't moving. And you mess around and be done tweak something else. So wait till he get all the way back and then get out there. But that doesn't keep him out of the film room. That don't keep him out of there. Because the mental reps at this point right now, I'm with you, Babsy. That's just as important as the physical reps, being able to get out there and do it. So, yeah, and then also one thing you don't like to do either with a new regime is get too far behind. Mm-hmm. So, but you got to be careful because you don't want to push it too fast and get out there when, I mean, we're not counting wins and losses yet, but we are counting people getting spots available, right side, left side, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's a lot of people. The young man coming down from Cleveland, I believe he was a tackle. So that could be his right tackle spot. If not,
Yeah, you don't want to get past and lose your opportunity either.
It can happen. This is the league now.
Very true. So what MPF's shoulder surgery was, it was after that, it was the Thursday night game, I think, right?
I think so.
Which was that was Pittsburgh. Isn't that the one we
Yes.
watched in the backyard?
Yep.
Yeah. That was Pittsburgh. So you're talking November.
Yeah.
November 6th.
Thank you. So we're on 6 months?
Yeah. That shoulder is tricky though, man.
Well, especially for that position.
Yeah.
Leverage
Heck
and what
yeah.
you have to use it for. Yeah. Let's check in with you guys, our listeners, 615-737-1045. We'll go to Bam in Nashville first. What's up, Bam? Who'd you want to see the most on video?
I want to see Traylon, man. I think I got to ride with Slay on there. I want to see Traylon.
I didn't see any.
Point exactly. You know, I kind of want to see which direction he's going. D-Hop had some good things to say about him, today in his pressure. But I really want to see how he's, taking everything that's going on and just how he's going to develop in this offense and how he's going to be moving forward with everything, man. We kind of need to see that, you know what I'm saying? Especially with how he came in and where he losing A.J. Brown to come to this point right now, that as a Titans fan, you really like, bro, come on. I got faith in you, bro. I just need you just to show us something, bro. I just need you to pull through for us, bro. So I'm riding with Slayer on this one.
Okay. I like it.
And guess what? I'm with Bam. I agree with Bam on that. I just to add to that with Bam, I want to see how much you pick up and learn from them early on from these veterans, because you got guys in this room, 1,000-yard receivers, guys that are familiar with their spot. Tyler Boyd sounds so confident, like it's not even a question if he's gonna be on the field or not. So, what do you pick up from these guys to push an iron sharpening iron?
Well, he mentioned DeAndre Hopkins had some good things to say about Burks, and so I sent that to Hunk. We'll play that in a little bit, his comment on it, because he was asked if people were sleeping on Burks.
Yeah.
So he took to Twitter 10 minutes ago.
Did he?
And quote tweeted, because Terry McCormick had asked a question or had tweeted that his answer, and all he tweeted was, how do I answer that without making a negative soundbite? And how do you say it, Slate? Nain? That's no in German. That was his response. So DeAndre went further, hopped on Twitter 10 minutes ago and said, quote tweeted Terry and said, the media is the only one sleeping on Traylon Burks. No one in the locker room doubted him or slept on him. Quotation, we are not people. I can't speak for people. So, Nain, he's never been slept on to us. Thank you. Come again.
There you go.
So DeAndre making sure that whatever he said was not taken as a negative connotation about Traylon Burks, and basically saying we've never slept on him from the get-go.
Right.
That's a national and a media thing.
You know what that is too?
sticking up for your teammate.
Hello, leadership.
Yep.
Hello. It's a wide receiver room. Yeah, we got each other. We got each other back in here. No, you would not try to turn this into a Tyler Boyd, Traylon Burke situation.
Like,
Where's the NWI?
don't be dogging on our receiving room. We stick together.
There you go.
I like
that's
it.
huge. That's huge. And you know what I liked even more so about this, and I don't see it on the audio, but listening to Tyler Boyd in the press conference when he came to the podium after practice, they asked him what he thought about his spot in the slot and what he could bring to these guys. And he said, man, it's great to have a three-head. I think it was Teron Davenport that asked the question. But it was great to have these weapons around us. But the main thing is, how do we mesh? And I think that right there can get lost when you got a guy of the status of D-Hop, a guy of the status of Calvin Ridley, and then you bring a Tyler Boyd in, and he related it to when he was in Cincinnati with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. What made them so good? It was like us being able to play off of each other. And that's key, man. Like, you can have the most talent in the world. If that talent right there don't mesh and everyone is helping each other, and he said it, maybe I have to run this corner off or get this nickel out of position so somebody can come underneath and make the catch. That's good sacrifice right there. I'm with it. What's somebody say, Babsy?
It's 9, not 9.
Oh, 9. Well, guess what? Hey, good thing we speak English, not German.
He should swap his number to 9.
There you go. Berg should be 9. I'm sorry, I never took German. I took French and Spanish, and then I confused them both.
Yeah, I got some
and
Italian
ended up
for you.
failing Spanish.
Yeah.
So there
well,
you go.
What? That's why we got our listeners. Thanks, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch.
Twitch, please. Appreciate you, Florida James,
Definitely
there. So you were mentioning Tyler Boyd and all of that. He was asked today, how long does it normally take to, because you're talking about chemistry and all that, how long does it normally take to build that chemistry with your new quarterback?
It takes some time. But I think with him, it'll be a little faster because I'm already comfortable in the offense. I already know it. I already know where to be in certain plays or where I think that he would expect me to be at the time, But I think I can kind of rush through that process than what I did when I was in Cincy with Burrow, because we was both kind of learning together, and he was still a young player, a rookie as well. But yeah, I think it helped him a lot with me being here.
No doubt. And what did I say about that signing over and over? I know you guys got tired of me saying it, but there is something so important for Tyler Boyd to be in that locker room, going through the playbook, knowing how Brian Callahan wants things done and sees things offensively, and for him to be in that locker room, able to help the other receivers, the quarterback, the offensive linemen, tight ends, everybody to learn this offense and know exactly kind of the thought process that goes through Brian Callahan's head. I think it's huge. Yeah,
I do too. I think you're spot on with that. It is
Callahan talked about it too.
Give it to us.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. I mean, I think he's definitely got an advantage over any normal free agent. Even like Calvin. Calvin's got a lot of things he's got to learn. But Tyler has the advantage because he's been in quite a bit of the offense in terms of names, expectation, route detail, the coaching points that he's heard for 5 years that he's got a pretty natural feel for. And he's getting back used to it again, too. All these guys, as they come back in, they knock some rust off as well. So that's part of the process.
Let's go.
Yeah, growing. And he also gets the help not only Will Levis, but receivers in their room. What's expected of it. I'm sure they go back and look at old film and things like that. Man, it's going to be interesting to see how quick they bond. That's going to be huge. Same thing for Tony Pollard and Tajay Spears. It's going to be the same thing. I thought one thing that was overlooked because of the competition was the relationship that Derrick Henry and Tajay Spears had. Coming on and off the field together, and supporting each other. Yeah, that was dope to see, and I think that's why you saw growth in Tajay like that, because you're getting support instead of pushback. Like, man, don't take my spot. It's more, hey, man, let's go do this together. Let's go win. Whatever we got to do, and that's sacrifice. And I think if you get the same thing in this wide receiver room with a young guy like Will Levis, let's get it on.
Although I don't think Henry was very happy when he wasn't on the field on third down.
I doubt that. I doubt if he was.
Pretty sure he made that pretty obvious with his facial expressions on the sideline, right?
Done with that foolery.
Like anytime they would show him on camera and he's on the field on third down or, like a 4th and 1, right? Why would you have Derrick Henry on the sideline? And you could just see in his face, like, what
no, that wasn't,
the hell
that
are
wasn't
we
a good
doing?
Thing. That wasn't good. That wasn't good.
He's like me. He can't hide it. He can't hide how he truly feels.
Not good. Poker face not good. Bro.
I get it, Henry. Yeah. So, which player were you updating your social media so you could see a video of all of them in action? 615-737-1045 is the number. You can always hit us up on our chat too, YouTube chat. I don't know all the things that we're on because I don't
Facebook,
ever say
YouTube, X, Twitch.
That. Twitch, please. Let's check in with, is it Hans?
Hans.
There's
your German.
That's German. Hans in Nashville. How do you say no in German?
Hello?
Wait a minute.
Hey, Hans.
Yeah, no, it's mean.
Mean. So we were close.
We were close.
Yeah.
Nine.
Oh.
Hey, Hans, you out
I've
here.
heard that in movies.
Mean is incorrect. You Americans, ich spreche die Deutsch. Ich weiß es nicht, was ist los mit dir. It's 9, like number 9.
Okay.
Number 9.
Yeah, good
Okay.
job. Good
Okay.
job. Good job, Hans.
Yeah, hat's mal Arschloch. Tschüss.
I don't know. That could be a cuss word that we have to dump, but we would know.
Yeah, all
We
right,
wouldn't
Hans.
know.
We're gonna put you on hold now, brother. Appreciate you, man. Great job.
Do you know, Hunk?
Oh, I do not know German. Only German I know happens during Oktoberfest. That's it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
only German.
that involves
There's
drinking.
no drinking
for me,
German
so,
beer.
Yeah,
And I just learned it from everybody else speaking German.
Yeah, we cool.
9.
Yeah, it's a funny little accent right there. That's what's up, my man. We got a whole lot of things to get into as well, Babsy.
Nine. That's what I'm going to do. From here on out, when y'all piss me off, I'm just going to say 9.
I felt like it was a karate chop should have came behind it.
9. Somebody said, pretty sure he just cussed in German.
Yeah,
well,
at some point.
FCC, we have no idea.
Yeah,
You can't blame us.
Who is it?
I didn't know that happened. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll hear from D-Hop when we come back. Who are you most worried about or more worried about being ready for week 1? J.C. Latham, Nicholas Petit-Frere? That's a good question, considering NPF's still rehabbing, right? We'll talk about that. 615-737-1045. No German cuss words, please. 3HL on 1045 The Zone. All right, I want to talk to you about Outdoor Lighting Perspectives of Nashville. They do the best when it comes to landscape lighting, design, install, and maintain. So you can light up your night and your home with Outdoor Lighting Perspectives. Festival lights, path lights, wall washing, tree lighting, area lighting. They do maintenance on lighting systems they didn't even install. They also do holiday lighting so that you don't have to get up on a ladder or any of that. No ladders, no boxes, no mess. And they do commercial lighting and event lighting as well. Permanent roofline lighting by Gemstone Lighting. They do absolutely everything. Here's what I did. I called Bob Lyons, the owner. He's great. Came out. I said, this is where we can't use our backyard at night because it's too dark. Figured out a plan, and boom, we had outdoor lighting. Our driveway is now lit up, which means it's safer, and my stepson can play basketball at night and actually see. And so I love what Outdoor Lighting Perspectives of Nashville did for us. They can do the same for you. All you have to do, visit them online, outdoorlights.com/Nashville.
Welcome back in to 3HL Radio 104.5 The Zone. You're rocking out with us, and we appreciate you. Make sure you tell a friend. There's still plenty of time. We all going all the way to 6 o'clock, man. Keeping you informed on everything. OTAs have cranked up. Babsy's in the seat. Hunk's behind the glass. I'm Big Slay, and Yor's on assignment, and he'll be back tomorrow. So I know a lot of people were wondering. I see y'all asking in the chat, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
Is how you interact. 615-737-1045 is the number.
I just asked the chat if any of those fools in our chat just called in as Hans.
Somebody said Hans from Fast and Furious. So. Yeah.
Trippin' Titans might be a culprit. Just saying.
Babsy, you led us out of that last segment with the question of who are you more worried about being ready for
JC Latham or MPF?
And for me,
and the question was basically, who are you more worried about being ready week one, ready to go?
Right.
And it's a legit question because MPF, obviously had the gambling issues last year that set him back, and then the shoulder surgery 6 months ago. And then JC Latham is a brand new rookie who is switching to the left side, and he hasn't played the left side in over 4 years.
And that's why I'm going JC Latham. I'm worried, not that he won't be ready. I'm worried how much we need him to be ready, if that makes sense. Because you picked him as a first-round pick. I was about to say lottery, like we talking about NBA, but might as well be lottery, top 10 pick. You need him to be ready because you brought him in to be a cornerstone and a foundational piece to go along with a guy like Peter Skoronski, Cushenberry filling in that void spot. Now, MPF was a guy that was able to fill a spot by need because because
they didn't have anybody.
Exactly. It was open. That was a third-round pick. Whatever you get from him being a swing lineman or whatever, it's all bonus. You banking on JC Latham. So that's why I need him to be ready.
But you're saying you're more worried about Latham because you're expecting him to make a bigger impact.
Yes.
Basically.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I need to feel where we were walking towards before the appendectomy for Peter Skoronski.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like he was on, what's that guy's name? Brian Baldinger.
Mm-hmm. Baldy's breakdowns.
Crazy name, yeah. But I remember him highlighting Peter Skoronski and him doing work, and he was on that way.
Yeah.
Before having to lose the weight and miss some time. So I would like to see JC Latham be able to take those same steps throughout the season and be that guy sitting over there on the side.
That makes sense. Mm-hmm. I'm still going to MPF because
you going to MPF?
I think he has a chance to give you a success story on the right side. Like, he doesn't have to be an all-star.
No,
he just has to be decent.
Yeah.
And I think he can be decent.
Yeah. And guess what?
He's a third-round pick, right? So at some point, the talent and the fundamentals are there for a third-round pick.
Yeah.
Like, just go out and be a third-round pick. You don't have to be a superstar. Just do the job adequately at this point.
And if you do, it also depends on how great the rest of the pieces on your line are, because they can make up for that. So he may not be that great, but if everybody else is really good, overshadows that and helps cover up.
Yep.
So you can make it.
Exactly. I always go back to Ramon, who I'm like offensive line genius over there. You know, he's not he ain't OLJ.
Right.
But he knows what the hell he's talking about when it comes to line play in the NFL, and he's always like, Babs, you need three. You need three solid guys up front, and the other ones don't have to be out of this world.
Because to his credit, being humble in the approach to it when explaining it, he was able to play alongside a future Hall of Famer in Marquise Pouncey.
Right.
And the way he speaks about the way Pouncey elevated everybody else's game, that's special. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And you can do that from positions, but if you can do that from center, you get an anchor right there, it changes things for a lot of people.
And if you have three guys that you can count on that can be close to that level, not necessarily
the Castro
that level,
was right there.
Okay.
Yeah. Bone was right there. Like, they had it, and they were able to clean up what was going on the outside.
Right.
So,
yep. Makes sense. Hey, you mentioned Skoronski.
Yeah.
And his weight.
Yeah.
He talked about it today.
I'm actually probably a little heavier than where I started out last year, but it wasn't really intentional. I was just working out and trying to eat right. but I always do better. No, I think it just kind of happened, and you got to be big and strong to play inside. So I'm not complaining about anything.
Got to be big and strong to play inside.
Yeah, you do.
There's some monsters in there. Shoot. Yeah, you would love to be able to just go one-on-one, like, and hold it, where the center don't have to come over and help you, or you ain't got to go help the center every time. So that's good. That's good to hear, though, because it sounds like he's in a good spot. Eating healthy and being able to put that weight on, that means that's muscle, Babsy.
A little heavier.
Yeah, that's as long as you can still move.
I was going to say, don't get too heavy to where you it affects your game. Hey, speaking of weight gain, did you see what Rossini wrote about Lamar Jackson?
Yes.
I was like, oh,
talk to us, Babsy.
Here we go. Lamar Jackson, this is from Diana Rossini. Lamar Jackson looks different this spring. He's intentionally down to 205 pounds, 25 pounds less than his 2022 weight and lower than last season where he played at 215, so 10 from last year. The word in Baltimore is that Slim Lamar could be even faster than the one we've seen in years past.
So does that mean, I immediately start thinking, does that mean Slim Lamar is a more smart? Is a smarter Lamar? Meaning he doesn't take those hits. He was already difficult to get a beam on and hit, but I felt like in moments he would take that chance and go into traffic and take a hit. It's different if you ain't carrying 15 to 20 pounds. Like, they already got their scope on you. They can get a free lick.
I was going to say, can he play a full season and into the playoffs and for a Super Bowl run? Can he stay healthy and not take hits and make it happen? He's got a running back that can help him out.
I was just going to say that. So, like, well, Hunk was talking about weeks ago was, okay, maybe Derrick Henry is able to get those touches on the goal line. And I was like, I was a little pushback because I think if you got Lamar, why would you need to do that? But now hearing this, you lost some weight. Well, I don't need you diving across the goal line in.
Well, it makes me think, like with Lamar, if you're gonna be smaller, it means you got to be smarter with your body, which means you can't run in certain situations that you probably would run into historically. But the other thing is save your body for the postseason, because the critique of Lamar Jackson isn't about the regular season, it's about the postseason.
Yeah,
because that's where he struggled. That's also when his body is the most tired. So if you can do something to save that, then, okay, being slim allows you to stay healthier going into the postseason, which is where he needs to change the narrative.
Yeah.
What's interesting to me, too, is they're talking about Lamar being 205. I mean, that's
skinny.
That's thin.
Yeah.
And I get a lot of it is it's lean, right? He's lean.
Yeah.
He's not
losing
skinny,
strength.
he's lean.
Yeah.
But weren't people saying Jaden Daniels is going to be broken in half in the NFL because he's 210 pounds?
You said that about Bryce Young last year.
Yeah.
I mean, Bryce Young, we were saying, was way too small. He needed to put meat on.
Right.
Because once a defensive end comes in unblocked, he's going to get destroyed, which is what happened in the Titans game. That man almost had a tombstone left at the 10-yard line during the Titans game.
So that's it's interesting how the conversation changes from veteran to rookie. Now, I get it. It's going to be a different kind of weight when you've been in the league for a while and you're doing it. But, I mean, nowadays, a lot of these college programs are setting you up for success, from a physicality standpoint. So,
yeah.
A weightlifting standpoint and conditioning, all of that training. Anyway, interesting. I just thought that stood out to me because I was like, oh boy, yay, faster Lamar. Titans fans, yay.
Yeah. They can deal with it.
Yeah. Oh, well. All right, we're going to take a break. 4 o'clock hour on 3HL is next. We've got Keith Bullock, former Titans linebacker, who is Mr. Monday Night in my head. He'll join us at 4:20. We'll talk to him about some of this stuff coming out from OTAs. We will address the green dot conversation because Bully was really funny on it too. So we'll talk about that as well. And take your calls for the next about 20, 25 minutes before Bully gets in here. 615-737-1045. Happy Tuesday, people. This is 3HL.
What's happening, fellas? I know you're hearing me. Listen up clearly. If you've been feeling a little tired and a little grumpy and notice lack of motivation and drive, well, weight gain and loss of muscle mass, all of this can be a combined sign of low testosterone levels. You can get that checked. All you got to do is go to Low T Center. It's real simple. You get your results back in 25 minutes. Now, when you go in there, it's $25 to get your T levels tested. And like I said, $25, 25 minutes. You get your results right back. Make your health and quality of life a priority. Go to lowtcenter.com. Book your appointment online today. That's lowtcenter.com, reinventing men's healthcare.
Good afternoon from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Joe Hunk. Brian Callahan was at the podium today following Titans' first OTA practice. He was asked about MPF and how he's looked so far since he's been in the building.
Yeah, he's been great. Really been pleased with his progress. He's one of those rehab guys currently, but everything he's done up to this point has been really good. I'm excited about the potential there for him. And, you know, anytime that these guys get the pads on in training camps, when we really find a separator for who ends up taking a tackle spot, but I've been pleased with where he's at.
Vandy in Florida most likely will not get started at 4:30 down in Hoover because the game in front of them is still in the 8th inning, and that most likely means that you're not going to see Vandy in Florida start until 5, maybe later than that. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Vols, the flagship station for your Tennessee Titans, as well as home to 3HL. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Welcome into 3HL right here on 104.5 The Zone. Ladies and gentlemen, it is hot outside. It is at least what, Babs? It got to be about 80. It was 88 earlier. Let's see where we at. Oh, good old 89. 89 degrees outside, people. Hope everybody is staying good and cool and getting acclimated because the summer is here. And then we just, school's about to be out. The cicadas are chirping at about 5 in the morning, making sure everybody's up and having a lot of fun. Hope you're having a lot of fun. Thank you for joining us. It's on 104.5 The Zone. 3HL is on your airways, and we got Babsy in the building.
What up? Let's go OTAs, baby. We got Ron Slay in the building,
I'm in the building.
Hey, I'm in the building.
Best believe I'm in the building.
Better be ready. I'm in the building. Car ain't got no rules. Time for the show.
Hey, time for the show, man. They are getting down right there. Joe Hunk behind the glass.
Sup? Do you know that when I left last night, I was about to hit the stairwell, not even outside, and I could hear the cicadas up through the stairwell all the way up to the second level.
Oh, yeah, they ain't playing.
Yeah.
They're
they're here.
At all. Yeah.
They're here. They're in full attack mode.
Attack mode.
There was one on the what does Mayor call it? The lanai. Or how about just the
patio.
The patio out there. Yeah. Trust me, it ain't a lanai. Anyway, there was one hanging out there, one of the ones with those red eyes.
Yeah.
Creepy, man.
They do look good and creepy.
That is the leader.
It's the queen.
That's the leader.
So they're attracted to loud noise.
Yeah.
Right? So I just talked to our guy Dickie today who does lawns, and he's like, they're like just all over him, everywhere.
See,
he's like, it's fine till they get the neck, like
See?
the neck and in the shirt.
Feel
that's what's bad.
Yeah, that's why I told you, Babs. They should have went and got those little bee suits. If you listening,
I know.
You got to get you one of the little bee suits. You still got to wait until June. It's gonna be on.
I had one today.
Oh yeah.
I walked around to like the backyard area. We're like trying to finish codes and all that with, the backyard project. It's a disaster as usual. And one just bum rushed my eye and like got caught in my eyelash.
What?
It was awful.
Oh no, you lost it.
I lost it. Luckily I was by myself. If there was anybody that watched that, I was like dancing and throwing my hands up, like through my phone. It was
You gotta fight them, Babsy. Fight them all.
It was a disaster. I'm like, just stay out of my eyelashes. Be all right,
Hey, the cicadas are in full-fledged, man.
They're the worst.
Stay out the way, y'all. Did we do Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch?
Twitch, please.
That's how you stay in contact with us. Yeah, get a little active with us. 615-737-1045. We got Bully coming up at 4:20, so gonna get him to weigh in on this green dot situation. We want to know a little bit more about that because we haven't had him on ever since texting him, and asking him about what his thoughts were. And we all know that Bully is running around with no filter. So
yeah, because Brian Callahan was asked if the media has blown up
Straight
the green
shooter.
dot talk to more than what it was and what it is because of all the talk of Cedric Gray,
Right.
the rookie, being aware or being a candidate
Yeah,
for the green dot. Do you want to hear what he said? What Coach Callahan
That's cool.
said?
Probably a little bit. Yeah, I'm more in his boat than I
Dang
am.
media.
Not. I think he makes a good point. There is a communication factor that matters. There's an ability to be able to call the defense and still get lined up and play your responsibility. But ultimately, you find someone that's capable. I mean, every team's got a green dot that you find one at some point that can communicate the call and get everybody lined up. But the communication part on defense really is an 11-person job. I mean, all those guys have to talk. The safeties and corners are talking to each other the whole time. The linebackers in the front, the safeties and the backers. There's a ton of communication that goes on. So to put it all in one person, I think is probably unfair at the end of the day. But you still have to have a guy that can handle the information, the communication part. There's a personality part of that too that they're naturally able to be in front of guys and communicate. But it's not something that I spend a ton of time thinking about. If for some reason we get to training camp and we can't get a call out, then we can make it a big deal. But at this point, no, I don't have any real concerns.
So, in other words, if the head coach of the team says it's not something he thinks a whole lot about, we probably shouldn't think a whole lot about it either.
And guess what? I think that one of the key things, and we'll talk about it more with Keith Bullock coming up at 4:20. I think.
Is he coming in studio? Is he on the phone?
I think he's going to be on the phone.
Okay.
You never know with Bullock. Bullock might pop up on us and just stay. Yeah. But I think one of the things is that I pointed out too, it's always about who's a better communicator. And like he said, the personality has to go with it. Like I wasn't the point guard, but when I used to inbound the ball and give it to the point, me and him would make eye contact and he'll be like, all right, we're going to run this. And I would come down and shout it out and make sure because my voice was louder, my personality was up.
What? Your voice was louder?
Yeah, just a little bit. Hey.
Wait, your personality was bigger?
I mean,
no.
I could command the other guys, and everybody would pay attention. Even if they didn't want to, they would still have to listen because I call them out on it. So,
right.
Yeah, you need that type of personality. That didn't mean that I was putting people in their place and you got to be here. That's the point guard duty. But as far as getting the message across, I was great at that. So, yeah.
I can see that. All right, let's get some of these calls since we've got Bully coming up. 615-737-1045. Let's check in with Dustin in Nashville. Hey, Dustin.
Hey, what's going on? No, I wanted to touch on the Latham and MPF question.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, obviously the most obvious question is, how is MPF going to handle the contact and possibly tweaking his shoulder or anything else as far as being completely ready by week one, whereas Latham, as far as we know, is healthy and he's, getting through the reps and everything else as we speak. So the readiness and the mind games is what I'm worried about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that. And that's what I was saying, too.
The mental part of it.
Yeah.
So it's more the mental part of it for Latham, the physical part of it for MPF, and for you, the mental part outweighs the physical.
Yes.
Yeah.
There, you like that?
That was good. I like it. Ready to go right there, baby.
I like it. Yep. Good stuff. Brian Callahan, by the way, was asked about his thoughts on MPF today, even though he wasn't out there.
Yeah, he's been great. Really been pleased with his progress. He's one of those rehab guys currently, but everything he's done up to this point has been really good. I'm excited about the potential there for him. And, anytime that these guys get the pads on in training camp is when we really find a separator for who ends up taking a tackle spot. But I've been pleased with where he's at.
Yeah. This right here is
very simple.
Yeah. And it's what we know.
I guess, what do we expect him to say?
Right. He stinks. Like, I don't know what the heck he's doing out here.
Well, honestly, he's not healthy enough for me to even give you an opinion. Yeah. Like, coach is not going to say that. But that's probably what he wanted to say.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
No, I think so. Yeah. And I just think you got to be, even in this part, when you're just going against pads or against dummies, if you will, the sleds and so forth and so on, you got to be worried because to me, man, it's so technical. And those little tweaks like the caller just mentioned, man, the direction you take your arms, the little muscles that you're not used to using because you're trying to rehab it, Like, you got to get that back in order. And you want to be out of the brace. Like, nobody
You've seen
wants
shoulder.
to be,
You've
I've
had
it.
shoulder. Yeah.
Yeah, it's I mean, you don't even have to be touched. Like, you can actually just go and reach for something, and all of a sudden it pop out, and it's like, oh my gosh. So yeah, they can shut you down for a minute. And that's what you don't want, is for him to be relied upon, and then I had to go back out there.
Remember when I had frozen shoulder?
Yes, I do remember that.
Like, I felt 80.
Oh, guess what? So I got it's coming on. He had it with, but no, his wasn't shoulder. His was the hand.
Oh,
remember you had the
did he had
baby
he had mommy thumbs?
Yes. Peter Burns, when we come on, I'm telling
had
that.
mommy
Y'all got that in common. Y'all both had mommy thumbs. So,
that is great.
Yeah, it was messing with him too.
You know what his was? His was probably picking
Golf
up his
problem.
golf
Yep.
bag. I'm telling you, it absolutely was. All right, couple more calls before we take a break. Trying to get you guys in. Let's check in with Taylor in Nashville. Hey, Taylor.
What's going on?
What's up?
I'm caller. Love y'all guys. Appreciate y'all.
Thanks.
Just wanted
Welcome.
to check it. Yeah, just wanted to check in on Tannehill's status. I haven't heard anything about him. I looked it up on Google, and it just said he was still a Tennessee Titan. So didn't know if y'all knew anything, and I'll hang up and listen.
Yeah, so he's still floating out there, man. He's still a free agent. Now, part of that could be because of his decision and his call to kind of wait and see what opens up. I had read somewhere a couple of days ago, like, look at the Dolphins, right? And this is crazy. Like, Ryan Tannehill back to the Dolphins, right? Because that was such a debacle there for so long. But look at who they have behind Tua. Like, nobody, right? I think it's, I don't even know their backup quarterbacks. Like, I think one is like Skylar Thompson or something. Yeah. You know, like, I don't even know their other.
They don't want you to know either, because they don't need to play them.
No, it's their backups are no name guys who, so if something happens to Tua, which, let's be honest, it could, very easily, with the way he plays, who are their backups?
Mike White.
Yeah.
Who they signed from the Jets, Skylar Thompson.
I knew that one.
And then Gavin Hardison.
There you go. So couldn't you see Ryan Tannehill as a backup there?
I most definitely could, especially if Gavin.
I mean, if I'm the Dolphins, I'm like, hey, please just come home and come back, right?
If I gave you 4 guesses to guess what conference Gavin Hardison came from, what would you guess?
Oh, the Financial Advisor Conference. I got a clue.
What, he came from like a conference downtown Nashville? Like he was just at a conference?
Where Gavin?
One of the ones that was going on. I would go, I'm going to go Big Sky.
No.
Mountain West.
No. Conference USA.
Really?
He was from UTEP.
Yeah,
I've even worked a UTEP game and I didn't know.
Gavin wasn't there.
No, Gavin
Could you
was
tell
not
me
there
the teams that are in Conference USA in 2024?
No, because it's all changed. So I don't even know.
All of your answers were good ones because we don't know who's in what conference anymore.
So don't.
So all of that to say, Ryan Tannehill is still a free agent.
Yeah.
So Google's wrong. He's not a Titan.
No.
But he is
maybe a fan of the Titans, as they said in the chat.
Has been promoted to fan.
Yeah.
Like I said, part of that could be him and his agent waiting.
Right.
For somebody to get injured and him
He's a
to
veteran.
step
he
in.
did that anyway.
I mean, he doesn't need the money. He got plenty from the Titans.
Well, so, yeah.
So there you go. We don't have time for one more, huh? Okay. We'll take a break. We got Keith Bullock, Mr. Monday Night Bully, on right after this. Stick around for that. This is 3HL 104.5 The Zone.
What's happening, people? Yes, the weather seems to be breaking, but don't be surprised if storms come around the corner and then power is knocked out and you're sitting there twiddling your thumbs, trying to call somebody, telling Cove generators, get out here and help me. They will not respond like that. But if you're proactive instead of reactive, then guess what? They got something for you, Babsy. Let them know about this warranty upgrade.
Yes, although they can respond with a temporary portable generator. They can do that. But yeah, why don't you just be prepared? And now's a great time to go ahead and jump in on getting yourself and your family a generator from Generator Dave at Cove Generators. I promise you, this is going to be the best deal that you can get in Tennessee, but you have to call within the next couple of weeks in order to get this deep discount, a new 10-year warranty upgrade on a new Generac standby home generator. And then on top of that, an extra $500 off if you tell them you heard it right here on 104.5 The Zone. So boom, $1,500 value for free just by listening to The Zone. Cove Generators, they'll help you out. What's the number?
931-559-3311.
Yes, covegenerators.com.
Stay connected through it all.
I want to tell you about my friends at Brentwood Jewelry. They could be your friends too. The Momley family are phenomenal, and they will greet you and get to know you and help you with your gifting responsibilities throughout the course of the year. Graduation, a time to celebrate. And 2024 graduations right around the corner. So celebrate them with a memorable piece from Brentwood Jewelry. From a premier timepiece to a custom ring, necklace, earrings, Brentwood Jewelry can help you find the perfect piece to commemorate this special time. Spring is the time for that perfect proposal as well. Brentwood Jewelry is here to help you pop the question. Let them help you take the stress out of selecting the perfect engagement ring. They can help you find a ring in your ideal budget. Browse their incredible selection of one-of-a-kind rings, or talk with their custom design specialists to create a stunning ring as remarkable as your loved one. Check out Brentwood Jewelry for all of your gifting responsibilities. They've got anything and everything you need. 7012 Church Street, located in the heart of Brentwood, just off Franklin Road. Exceptional style, exceptional deals every day for more than 50 years. Visit BrentwoodJewelry.com.
Welcome back into 3HL right here on 104.5 The Zone. OTAs have started, so guess what? It's only right we get a Titan in here that's had to walk through these same steps, and we need to know a real-life breakdown. Keith Bullock joining us right here. Hall of
Monday
Famer,
Night.
Mr. Monday Night. So many different titles. Titans legend. A little bit of everything
owner.
to go with him. Yeah, man. Just Love Coffee in the building, man. You could have just came through, slid us some Just Love, and we would have been cool with that, Bullet. But you gracing us with your presence, he's even better, man.
Hey man, I appreciate just being on the air with y'all. You know, a little too late in the afternoon for coffee, but hey, you do what you gotta do.
You gotta do what you gotta do. Make it through
Never,
the night.
Bully.
Now,
It's never too late. We're glad you're with us. Hey, we got to clear something up first because it's been a conversation in the media, and even Coach Callahan was like, it might be a little overblown talk in the media about the damn green dot.
Oh, Lord.
Yep, there you go. On defense. So just take us behind the curtain, explain what it is. Now my response was, I'm not sure if you really want a rookie doing that because they have so much probably going through their head at every, before every play. But go ahead and just hit us on the green dot, what it is. Did you ever wear it, what it means, and is it that big of a deal?
Well, the green dot is really simply the communicator from the defensive coordinator to the actual player on the field. I was the green. I did have the green dot, and actually they switched to the green dot during my playing time. So before then, it was just hand signals. And I say I'm with you, Don, when you think about it actually being used in a game. I was probably like 5-6 years in, not like it really mattered. But my thing is, a rookie, it was a little different, when I played. And I feel like I'm getting to that point where I'm like, back in my
Back
day.
then, yeah, almost
I say
there,
it all
baby.
the time.
Nah, but seriously, I could never imagine me coming in. Like, this is me just, I was a first-round draft pick and coming in and, getting that pass to really call the defense in front. I can't really see being welcomed by Blaine Bishop and, all those different veterans that we had, having a rookie up there without proving themselves to, call the actual defense. So that's what I'm saying. It's probably a different time now. But even when I was playing, I'm not really a rookie isn't going to get up there and call in the defense. I'll put Hainsworth up there before I'm going to let a rookie get up there and call the defense. So, but that being said, besides all that, you peel it all the way back, you get to the fundamentals of it. It'll be tough, like Don said, for a rookie to get out there and do it. Not saying that the young man can't, but first and foremost, being able to get yourself lined up is every play is one thing.
Yeah.
And then in actual game time situations, when the bullets are flying, you have to be able to be like a crisp, clean communicator. Then you have to line up, know the down and distance, you make any adjustments on the line. So I just think it'll be a lot for a rookie to do. I think that a rookie has more to worry about as far as getting lined up and just making plays, man. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot has gone behind it just from what I've heard. Like, I'm sitting here like, yo, you're going to give a rookie that responsibility, and he don't even, really know where to line up right away. So I think it was about getting more comfortable in the defense. And then maybe as camp goes, OTA go, however it goes, you obviously give him a shot. But then at the end of the day, sure, he got to beat somebody out to be a starter, whoever. It's speaking about the rookie and Gray.
Yeah.
If it were you, Bully, in that situation, do you think you could have grasped it, going through OTAs and then getting the training camp before getting the preseason games? You think you could have grasped onto that and been comfortable with it?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think if he comes and he's doing it, but it's like for example, man, like when I was making the calls, okay, Schwartz is giving me the call, so I would say, over over cover 2, right? So I called the front and that. But then, all right, over cover 2 is 3rd and 6. All right, D-line, stay on sides. Yo, watch the corner route.
Yeah.
Watch. I'm giving all these different intricacies from my film study. You know what I'm saying? I'll be like, yo, Cortland is coming out quick. You know, telling my corners, be aware it's coming out quick. Middle of the field, 3rd and 6. They like to do this. They like to do that. So, you know, I think just if I was on the type, like, I feel like Armani Hooker is the guy for it just because he's been here the longest. It doesn't matter if he's been within this new defense or not, but I already know that his guys respect him. And at the same time, I would like to see someone like Armani Hooker, you know, see if he's able to take that step and become that guy that Kevin Byard was. And I think that's the way that you kind of give him a little, you know, come on, here you go, Armani. Let's go. Here go the keys to the car. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it just kind of depends on what the coaches have in mind. But I think that's how you create leaders that you already have and give them a little more you know, vote of confidence, especially from a new coaching regime coming in.
This is our first chance to get to talk to you. Keith Bullock, Titans legend, Mr. Monday Night Hall of Famer, and some more things to it. But this is our first time getting to talk to you with this new coaching regime, and you just talked about your playing days, and we knew with Schwartz you were playing an attacking style defense. What are you interested in seeing with Denard Wilson walking into this situation? And you mentioned a guy like Amani back there on the back end. You saw what he did with the corners. You know what to maybe expect from Big Jeff. Maybe what you get from the outside edge. What are you expecting to see from Denard Wilson in this defense? Attacking mindset? You excited about that? Or is it a bend, don't break like it's been to me in the past?
I think it's attacking, you know, knowing his background, you know, coming from the tutelage of Greg Williams. You know, that's Greg was my first defensive coordinator my rookie year, so I know what that's all about. So
he's aggressive.
Yeah, you think? I know he ain't gonna. He's not sitting back and waiting. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think, you know, this is be a great opportunity for Denard to get out there to see what he actually has. You know, see how it moves, kind of, you know, in shorts or whatever. Actually, to see what type of learning capacity everyone has. And, you know, me, if it were me, I'm throwing everything at him real quick. Let's see what you got in grasp. And when we get back in here, obviously in late July, you know, you got to start all over anyway. But that's really what happens in OTA, especially with a new coach. They're throwing everything at you, and you're figuring it out, and they're figuring out who can do what. But I honestly two things, Slay. A few things. Like you say, I like the combination with Big Sweat there with Big Jeff. That helps out. But hey, I like the new pickups at corners. I think Snead is a dog. I think he has the attitude that you need to have, or someone that was drafted, I believe he was drafted in the 4th, 5th round, wherever he was drafted at. But him fighting and clawing and stepping up to every challenge that the NFL has to offer, regardless who it is. You know, you see him throwing Tyreek Hill in the dirt, you know, the cheetah in the dirt. So we need to bring some of that over here, and I know he's going to want to, because now it's like, you know, okay, I did my thing there, but now this is my team. This is my defense. Now it's my opportunity to shine as a professional football player. All of that being said, man, they need some heat off that edge, man. You need that ball to come out quicker. And I think that on the pass rush side, when it comes to the exterior, maybe outside linebackers, defensive ends, it's not a lot right now that I see that's generating, you know, a crazy pass rush to make that ball come out faster. So, yeah, it's great that they got those new corners, but if the ball isn't coming out fast and the quarterback has all day, it's going to be a long day for the defense regardless.
No doubt. So it's been interesting to watch, even since your playing days, kind of the evolution of the safety position defensively. And I mean, there's a ton of free agents out there still. And obviously the Titans will probably need to knock on some of those doors on this roster. But what is your take on kind of how the safety position has almost kind of moved towards like the running back position offensively, you know?
Yeah, I mean that's a good analogy, but at the same time, and if you're a baller, you're gonna get paid. Like if there was an Ed Reed type, or Palomalu type, or a Cam Chancellor type out there, they're gonna get paid. So I think it comes down to the type of player that's out there, and it's interesting you say that. I kind of heard that same type of situation like with the linebacker, with linebackers, that there aren't those type of linebackers out there. So to me, it's like, look, some people ain't on their job at the collegiate or the professional level developing these guys, because at the end of the day, I don't understand why, you don't have, those high-end, high-caliber safeties out there. Not that there aren't some, but I kind of feel like there were definitely more to pick from, even when you think you had your Eric Weddles, you had your Harrison Barnes, like you could go down and those are that's just real quick. I could name some safeties, but now when I do think of a top safety in this league, nothing really jumps out. So that does kind of bring down the value in that position, because at the end of the day, if you can have corners shut things down and be able to have cover linebackers to be able to take away tight ends, you can come up with defensive schemes that are negate the need of certain positions.
Yeah, that's a good point. Keith Bullock with us. Okay, so you mentioned kind of leadership, defensive coordinator, all that when talking about defenses. So, and these Titans corners. So Chidobe Awuzie was on with B-Hop and Blaine earlier, and I'm going to play this cut for you because I want your take on how he described Denard Wilson, his new defensive coordinator, because they basically asked him, okay, what's your first impression of him? So here's Chidobe Awuzie talking about Denard Wilson.
Oh, man, he commands the room. That would be number one. He really does command the room. You could tell that he commands a standard, on defense. But not only that, I could tell if you were his friend, he would command greatness out of his friends, too. So he's one of those guys that really cares about doing the right thing, being successful, moving in the right way, and all the little details matter. So that's kind of my first impression of him.
All right, Bully. So what's your take on that description of a DC?
It sounds like accountability is number one. You know what I mean? You come in to sit down in his room, he's going to address you like man, and at the end of the day, he expects you to be accountable. And that's a great start for any, good unit. You know what I'm saying? If you got players that can be accountable, they understand what your message is, and they understand what you expect from them. Because at the end of the day, and you guys know, you guys are athletes. Look, coach, tell me what I need to do. You know what I'm saying? Like if there's no gray area, it makes it so much more easier for me to know how to get on the field, or what I need to do to get better, or what your expectations of me are in this role that you have me playing. So I think clear-cut communication is key, and that might be missing a lot in sports, period, just based the way the landscape has been changing.
Right.
Yeah, Keith Bulluck
you mean
joining
missing
us, man.
in life?
That was like a whole lot.
Missing in society.
Hey, yo, right? Hey, you know what? Hold on. I gotta before y'all get me out of here, man, I gotta ask my man Slade, what's up with that? How's that jersey, man? I heard you've been wearing that Traylon Burks jersey around.
Hold on, Bully.
Oh my gosh! Why are you doing this, Bully?
Bully,
you still got it?
Wash it.
He's putting it on as we speak. He just took his headphones off to put this stinky A jersey on.
Bully, I got it on right now, Bully. I got it on right
you know
now.
What?
What up?
You're a real one, bro. You're a real one. I commend you being a former professional. It's like you doing Traylon like, you see the guy, he's dragging, he's going, come on, bro, I got you. And then your boys is like, hey, dog, leave him alone, man. Leave him alone. He's like, nah, I got him. Come on, little bro, I got you. So I just don't want you to be let down.
No, but that's the same situation, dog. That's how I'm coming through, man. See, what people don't know, man, Bullock had these conversations all the time, especially during road games, man. I'm just telling you, Bullock, listen. Give my guy a chance, man. Well, matter of fact, you ain't even got to give him a chance. This is his last one. So
yeah. You're right. Hey, man, look, I'm gonna tell you like this, man. You got kids, and like my kid is my oldest is 16, and they play sports. It's like this, bro. You can't want it more than them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We can't want it more than Traylon Burks. I want him to be successful as being a former first-round draft pick. But, man, look, he keep batting them light eyes and not making no plays, man.
Them eyes light too, boy. I had a part of mine just like that. That can't shine brighter than your game.
You better come with it, man. You better come with it. First and foremost out there like Terrence Howard. You know what I'm saying?
See what I'm saying? Bullock,
Y'all are killing
listen,
me.
man, at K-Bull53, let me ask you this real quick before you get out of here, Bullock. We going into a different direction with Titans football. Now, this is the first time you haven't had a feature back in the backfield. Tell me what it's like. Forget the receivers right now because we're going to hit on that another time with you. But what is it like as a linebacker sitting there? Derrick Henry's not lining up in the backfield. Now you got Pollard and Tajay Spears. How dynamic is that, and how do you have to prepare for that?
Preparing for it as a defense, it's pretty tough because with Pollard and Spears, they're both very capable wide receivers if you want to get them in the passing game. So you could put them both in the backfield along with Ridley, D-Hop, and Boyd. And yeah.
Quit laughing at that, Bullock. Don't laugh. Don't Bullock. You almost grabbed your stomach laughing at that one. That one ain't like it.
I actually did.
I see.
Nah, but then you got like it'll be hard to stop, man. It'll be hard to stop, especially because even with those 5 I say you put out there, you could have a nice short intermediate package where it's just like quick, no huddle, boom, you're getting your backs out fast, the quick outs, the in routes, all those things for tempo in your offense. And then obviously you can have a traditional offense when you bring the tight end in, or, hey, look, here's one for you. You can even move Traylon Burks to be tight end next year if you want to. You know what I'm saying? I like that. You know, I would like for him to bloom and progress at the wide receiver as they drafted him. But look, if Traylon gains a little weight, put him at tight end, he could be pretty dominant there. You know what I mean? So I think offensively, they have a good package going in. It's just going to be how they put it together. I know they're going to score a lot of points. It's going to be tough on defenses, but that means our defense might be on the field a little more than they need to be. I mean, more than they want to be. Right. And those are the things that, like you asked me earlier, what are the things you need to see on defense? For me, it's definitely that pass rush to help those guys out on the back end.
Good stuff. Hey, real quick on the way out, when you played, did you want to play in preseason games? I think Fish always played you guys.
Yeah, Jeff always played us until the fourth preseason game. He would play us into the third quarter. So,
yeah. I used to work those. Yeah.
Jeez.
I always loved the fourth ones.
Yeah, I would always. Yeah, I remember Aaron Rodgers. That's when we would play at Green Bay all the time, and Brett Favre was at. You know, Aaron Rodgers is in the third quarter. He's like, Bullock, what are you guys still doing out here? He's just trying to get some reps. Now he's trying to get the starting defense. But I always like playing in at least 1 or 2 games because it was hard for me to go into the season without making a play. Like I had to make a play, like a fumble recovery, a big hit, an intercept, something. I had to do something to let me know. It's like, all right, bet, let's go. The season could start now.
Yep.
I like that.
Interesting. Well, we'll see what happens with this one. Hey, we're going to have you in studio on again, okay? You're my favorite.
Yeah,
Great
I'm
job.
around. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Bully. There you go.
Yeah.
Keith Bullock, Mr. Monday Night. He's the best. We'll have him on again, especially
definitely.
closer to the preseason. That's interesting to hear his take on preseason games, too.
It is.
Hey, somebody just asked us in the chat, Slay, you know anything new about Chaz Lanier?
That's funny. That's funny that you bring that up.
I think you do, actually.
We're gonna run across that coming out of this break, I guess.
Yeah, we'll talk about that on the other side. Stick around, 3HL 1045 The Zone.
Twitch, please. Now, holistic stem cell therapy. Kellum Stem Cell Institute is where you need to head to. A lot of patients have experienced remarkable results, but it's up to you to go out and get it and find out what your own testimony will be. I've got mine. Knees, yes. Shoulder, yes. No complaints, none at all. Inflammation, attack, because that's what we all know your stem cells do. Your body, your cells, your solution. They harvest your body stem cells and also store them for future and continued use. So you have an accident down the line, whenever you got those stored earlier on, it's the better, because those are the age. So say I had them harvested at 17 years old and I had an accident. I wanted to use them when I was 30. They're the active 17-year-old cells that's getting ready to get into you and attack the inflammation. And it cuts down on all recovery half the time. It don't get better than that. From autism to arthritis, man, they hit everything. Get your consultation today. 615-850-4415, KellumStemCellInstitute.com. Welcome back into 3HL right here on 104.5 The Zone, rocking and rolling with us on this beautiful Tuesday, sunny Tuesday, hot Tuesday. If you missed any of that last segment with Keith Bullock, man, there was so many gems dropped, and it always is. And I now have the Traylon Burks jersey on. Slaylon Burks has been activated thanks to Keith Bullock. I'm a bully, my guy. Yeah, I'm no man left behind. Let's go, Traylon.
Although Bully did say he appreciates your.
Yeah, man, I told y'all. He
doesn't necessarily agree with it.
Yeah, I always told you I was a loyal to a fault. Now,
he said Traylon Burks to tight end. Let's go.
Yeah, see, the good thing about that.
No, I'm paraphrasing.
But what I took from that was Bully want him to succeed too. If it don't work at receiver, he's too athletic and too good of a potential good guy to have him on another roster. Like
good guy
tight end. No, not a good guy like that. A good guy delivering.
The board.
He will be on that board in a minute if he don't get his act
You do
together.
have him on the board. Burks over under 32 and a half receptions.
And I got him over.
Yeah, you do. I have him under. Somebody had asked about Chaz Lanier in our chat, which, by the way, we have Jim Wyatt coming up right at 5 to talk Titans, and then we're going to talk SEC baseball too with Peter Burns coming up at 5:20. So that's in the 5 o'clock hour. Also, I'm giving away Sounds tickets as well. But want to get this in first. Chaz Lanier.
Yeah.
Fill us in.
Yeah. So he already did his visit to BYU.
By the way, this is basketball.
Yeah, my bad.
He's for anybody that doesn't pay attention to recruiting and portal and all of that in college basketball. This is
fifth-year guy from North Florida. Dominated 50, 40, 90 guy, 50% from 2, 40% from 3, 90% from the free throw line. Outstanding player in the transfer portal. Came from here. In Nashville,
Local
went to the
guy.
Ensworth High School. I had an opportunity to coach him and his brother. Come from a great family. They went to BYU first, and then followed with Kentucky. He just got back from Kentucky when they went and picked him up last night, got him in town. The rock was painted when he touched down in Knoxville. What
was it painted?
Come
Welcome?
home, Chaz.
Come home,
Chaz with
That's
the orange right there.
good.
Yeah, he took a picture in front of it and everything. So it's full-fledged, and now he is there going through the process of the recruiting and going on the tour, meeting the coaches, up there with his family. And I'm hearing it's going really, really well. I do think this is a two-man race between Kentucky and Tennessee, regardless of what the numbers are that have been thrown out. And before we end, I'll throw out what I know. So you just got to stay tuned in the 5 o'clock hour. Now.
How does he fit with the current Tennessee roster basketball-wise?
He fits very well with that roster because this is a situation where you're not trying to establish culture. You're not trying to ask somebody to do something outside of their box, where he's been successful as being a shooting guard, being able to score the ball with the ball in his hands, being able to get down screens, the offense kind of being set up around him. And the reason that is because all the pieces that you brought in was one piece that's voided, and that's the void that Dalton Connect left.
Right.
Now, not saying that he needs to come in and be Dalton Connect as far as production or anything like 40.
But he can fill it.
But he can fill it. And that right there is when you're looking at the biggest landscape of it. Kentucky doesn't have that because they're trying to establish culture with a new coach, with new pieces that are coming in the portal. This right here, you already got a point guard. You actually have a team that is better than the team last year when you look at what was taken away and what was added. So
even without Dalton Connect.
Even without DK. If Chaz Lanier is in that spot.
Yeah. Interesting. So he can step right in and be him.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. We'll talk more about that coming up later. Jim Wyatt, TennesseeTitans.com is next on 3HL.
Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, that's where you need to go to get that next new vehicle. Whether you're looking for a car, truck, SUV, or Jeep, new or pre-owned, these are your guys. Daniel Gupton and his crew ready to help you out. There will be no pressure at all on you from them. They simply want to get you in the vehicle that's right for you. And that's what will happen at Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Just tell them what you're looking for. Maybe it's third row. Maybe you need more space, like I mentioned. Maybe you need less of a payment. Better gas mileage. I don't know. But let them know, and you can. They'll point you in the right direction. You can take your test drive, go inside. They will help make the numbers work, and it will be that easy. 24 West toward Clarksville. Exit 35 is about 9 miles outside the city. Then it's a straight shot into the best vehicle buying experience you will have ever had at Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. They are the best. 3450 Tom Austin Highway, 30 minutes from downtown Nashville. Check them out online at GuptonMotors.com is the website. All the dealership information is there. All of the inventory is there. That's Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram.
Good evening from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Joe Hunk. OTAs going on today. You'll hear more about that with Jim Wyatt coming up in a few moments. But if you like Australia, then the NFL may be putting a game there just for you because it's spring league meetings that are taking place here in Nashville. The NFL executive said that they are looking at Australia as a potential spot to play an international game in the future. And speaking of Jim Wyatt, Vanderbilt in Florida just now getting going in Hoover in the SEC tournament. The winner will take on Tennessee tomorrow afternoon. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Vols, the flagship station for your Tennessee Titans, as well as home to 3HL. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Welcome into 3HL on 104.5 The Zone. Just, you know, it's the regular crew, man. We always rocking with you. We got Yoral out right now doing some assignment things, handling some things on assignment, but we also got Babsy in the building.
I'm in the building. Ron Slay also in the building.
I'm in the building. Best believe I'm in the building. Better be ready. I'm in the building. Car ain't got no rules. Time for the show.
I feel like we should have an intro for this guy, too.
We should.
Hunk, what you got?
He's riding the Vandy train.
That's right. He's on the Vandy train. Here you go. Jim Wyatt, Titans.com. Hey, Jimmy, how are you?
I'm doing good. I can roll with that intro.
See, there you go. I can totally see you in your visor with your pencil sticking out of it, doing a dance to that. So, all right, OTAs. They kicked off. Your biggest takeaway from what you got to witness today for the Titans in their first vet and rookie OTA.
Yeah, it's an interesting time because you got so many new faces out there, so many guys that you're being able to see for the first time. And I've seen a lot of these guys during the course of the offseason, just during the offseason workouts. But, you know, kind of seeing them work against the defense this week and being able to do a little bit more, you know, with 7-on-7s, I would say the first thing that I pointed out in my observations was just Calvin Ridley, just his explosiveness off the line of scrimmage, how fast he looked, and then having him out there next to Tyler Boyd and DeAndre Hopkins and Traylon Burks. I mean, I think the receivers and the weapons this team has on offense and the ability to throw the ball and the willingness to want to throw the ball more is going to be, it was worth watching today, and it's going to be worth watching, you know, throughout this offseason leading up to the season.
No doubt. Tyler Boyd, too, the addition of Tyler Boyd. And I know he spoke to the media today and kind of talked about how long it normally takes to build chemistry. I know Brian Callahan had kind of mentioned, you know, how much he can really help everybody else, too, in that room. What did you see from him as far as his ease of kind of already being familiar with this staff?
Yeah, I mean, he just got here last night, and then he was on the practice field today.
Oh, wow.
And so, I mean, he looked pretty smooth. I mean, he caught the ball well, got in and out of his breaks well, just looks like a smooth route runner. I think there's no question his familiarity with the offense and with Brian Callahan works in his favor. He's got to get on the same page as Will Levis, and that's the same with Calvin Ridley and the same with all these guys. I mean, it is a new offense, and you're trying to get your timing down. You're trying to figure out, you know, and know where you're supposed to be on every play. And some of that stuff does take time. I mean, you know, Boyd talked about how good he feels about being here and how comfortable he is, but he didn't mince words when it was asked about how long it takes. And he you know, so many words said it doesn't happen overnight, and it's all about working. That's where these OTAs are important. They've got 8 more of them after today, and then they've got a mini camp, and then obviously we're gonna have a lot of training camp practices for them to work well together as well. But you know, Boyd's been in Cincinnati his whole career, and he's worked with Joe Burrow, you know, and then Browning at the end of last year. So this is all new to him, and you know, you're gonna have some you're going to have some screw ups, and you're going to have some things that are going to need to be corrected. But that's what the off season's for.
Absolutely, Jimmy. Looking at your page, it looked like it was a couple of clips there of Calvin Ridley. A lot has been made because of Tyler Boyd being the last signing to come in, and it's kind of, that was a month and a half ago almost since Calvin Ridley was signed. But now, being on the field, you say you saw some explosiveness. How was that up close and personal, Jimmy?
Yeah, I did. I mean, he was one of the guys I was most interested in watching, and he definitely has a burst to him and a stride that is going to separate him from defenders. And he's got to stay healthy. He's got to be consistent in his route running and everything that he does. But it's been a while since this team has had a receiver that can kind of run away with you like that and that kind of speed. And
long time.
I tweeted that out. I made my observations that number one thing that stood out was Tyler. What was that Calvin Ridley looked explosive, and he must have been on Twitter when I tweeted it, because within 5 minutes, he tweeted out, comeback. This is comeback training camp or comeback season. So he's motivated and feels like he's got something to prove after getting out of Jacksonville.
Absolutely.
So you mentioned, comeback camp or whatever he said. Another guy that really needs a comeback camp, Caleb Farley, but there was a Caleb Farley sighting out there.
Yeah, and the good news is it wasn't like just a one-time deal. He's been out there all off-season. I happened to walk the hall with him after I came back in and just chatted briefly with him and asked him how his off season's gone. And he said he's pretty much been there every day and working to get better, trying to get healthy. And and Brian Callahan talked after practice just about what a good job the training staff has done in helping prepare him for this week, but also helping prepare him for a battle in camp to try to make an impact on this roster. And the biggest problem he's had is just being able to stay healthy. He's done some things that have been outside his control. I think the biggest thing is the back surgery that affected a nerve, and he just it hasn't. At the end of last season, it had not really gone away. Like, it's just a lingering issue that he just couldn't get past. And I didn't ask him the particulars of that, but he said he felt good and is excited about being out there. And now it's just trying to stack days and try to stay healthy where you can put yourself in a position to compete. Because that room looks a lot different now. I mean, it's really good. It's really deep. It was a Jerry Sneed and Cheeto Awuzie and Roger McCreary, who made a really good play today, and you got a guy like Trey Avery that's coming back. I mean, there's tough competition there to make this team, and I haven't even mentioned Brownlee, the draft pick out of Louisville, who's going to be a factor as well. So not a lot of open spots there.
Yeah, no doubt. Speaking of healthy or getting healthy, MPF. I know was not out there, but he has been in the building, right? He's 6 months removed from shoulder surgery?
Yeah, he's been around. He's been working, and I don't know whether he's got something new. I mean, he's been out there this offseason, and I know he's done enough to where the head coach said he's been impressed by what he's seen from him. He wasn't out there today. You're right, Don. He was among the guys, I guess you could consider that the head coach alluded to as somebody that would be rehabbing. And again, I don't know if that's an existing injury or just a flare-up or what he's dealing with. But he's going to be in the mix, and he has been in the mix this offseason. Just went out there today.
Well, that's good. We'll figure something out with him. Jimmy, what did you see as far as leadership? I know I was watching a couple of your videos at the end of where the rookies were in minicamp, and you saw J.C. Latham doing a lot of talking, encouraging guys, breaking down huddles. You could hear his voice throughout. Was it the same carrying over with the vets being back out there?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's obviously these guys know the role and know when to kind of pick their spots. I thought one thing I thought that was very interesting that Will Levis said when he talked to media a couple of weeks ago is just guys who maybe last year were a little bit more passive and not as outspoken now seem to have found their personality under a new coaching staff and with a new team around them. So I myself am curious to see who emerges. This team has a lot of veteran players. It has guys that have skins on the wall, players that are not going to be afraid to speak up. And then I think, I think you bring in somebody like Latham, who was a leader in college, and even Sweat, who was a leader in college in Texas. I think it's got a good group of young players that will step up and lead their rookie class and guys around them as well.
You getting pulled over, Jimmy?
Well, there's one close to me. He's actually just going to get even louder because he's coming here right up to my right. So,
that's all right.
So maybe it's going to come help all these cicadas that are on my windshield.
I tell you what. How do you think Vandy will fare in your SEC baseball tournament here?
We'll see. It's just now kicking off today. First pitch just happened a little while ago, I guess. I was talking to Joe Hunt before I came on. So hope they do well. They've been teams kind of been a little bit up and down, but they've played well enough to beat two of the best teams in the country the last couple of weekends, at least once. So, it's all about peaking and playing well at the right time. And hopefully this is the right time.
No doubt. Well, we're about to have Peter Burns on from SEC Network to talk about it, so you can hang on and listen to what he has to say about it. Appreciate you, Jimmy.
Okay, y'all have a good week. Appreciate it.
Thank you. There you go, Jim Wyatt. You can catch all of his stuff, Titans.com. Does a great job tweeting and covering all the things that not all of us can actually see in person. So make sure you follow Jim Wyatt for all your Titans coverage at Titans.com. Yes, I mentioned it, Peter Burns. He's coming up next.
That's right.
Right here on 3HL 104.5 The Zone.
What's happening, fellas? I know you're hearing me. Listen up clearly. If you've been feeling a little tired and a little grumpy and notice lack of motivation and drive, well, weight gain and loss of muscle mass, all of this can be a combined sign of low testosterone levels. You can get that checked. All you got to do is go to Low T Center. It's real simple. You get your results back in 25 minutes. Now, when you go in there, it's $25 to get your T levels tested. And like I said, $25, 25 minutes. You get your results right back. Make your health and quality of life a priority. Go to lowtcenter.com. Book your appointment online today. That's lowtcenter.com, reinventing men's healthcare. What's happening, good people? Welcome back into 3HL right here on 104.5 The Zone, man. We're covering everything. We're giving you Titans OTAs. We have been talking about what's going on Rocky Top today. We've had a lot of people on. Keith Bullock gave us his insight. Now, we got to shift. Go to a little bit of baseball and golf.
Shift.
Yeah, let's a little shift. That's all.
That's a dangerous word.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you got to be on it, Babs. I'm on it. We got our guy, Mr. SEC, in the building, Peter Burns. Peter, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. I'm watching my kids hopefully get dog-ass tired right now on a splash pad, so it's easy to put them to bed later tonight. So,
I was wondering.
If you hear me, John, if you hear me in the middle of this, right now, I'm like, get all of this energy out. Like, I want to be able to get the Dino Nuggets in around 6:45, and those kids to go to hell to bed. The hell to bed. Yeah.
I feel this entire conversation in my soul right now. Dino Nuggets for the win. You better not get the fake ones. They can tell the difference.
I mean, for real. Come on, listen. I'm buying those Coach Cal, Arkansas Tyson chicken Dino Nuggets. That's the real deal stuff.
That's right. I like it. Man, you're like living the dream right now. You just came off of Valhalla and working that or following Scheffler around. So I have this question for you. Will everybody remember the finish to that tourney or the fact that Scotty Scheffler got arrested?
It's a great question. It's both, right? I mean, I'm not lying. I've been doing media for 20 years, and it was the most surreal thing I've ever been a part of, is that, we're driving to the course and that Friday morning, and all of a sudden we see this long line, and traffic's not even letting through our security drivers through. We're like, what in the world's going on? And, of course, we hear about the accident, and then somebody texts us, in the crew, and it was Jeff Darlington's car, and they just put Scotty Scheffler in handcuffs. I'm like, the hell they did. I was like, stop playing. There's no, don't mess around. And we thought we were getting pranked, and sure enough, it was the case. And then we start sitting there in a delay going, man, is he going to make bail? Like, does he get out? Is he going to be wearing, the orange jumpsuit on the first tee? It was like a 30 for 30. I mean, it was crazy. And then the man goes out there after having a mug shot and shoots 66.
Yeah.
Crazy. Nice. But it caught up to him the next day.
Yeah, I think what it was is the adrenaline was pumping that first day, and just like, hey, get me on the golf course. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to focus on that. And then I think all of it caught up with him the next day. He had one or two bad swings earlier. Remember, he didn't even have his normal caddy, Ted Scott, on Saturday's round because his caddy, his son was graduating high school. So he told his caddy, hey, I'm good. Take the day off. This is planned weeks in advance. So I don't think he planned on being up in county.
Right.
I mean, it's absolutely wild. And the best tweet of the whole week was Max Homa, who is great. He's playing well. He said, literally, what a disappointing week. I literally lost to a guy that was in jail on Friday. And I was like, that's funny. That is funny and yet true.
Hey, Peter, let me ask you this. How was the crowd when he was first teeing off to the energy that was around him, following him through the course? What was that experience like?
Okay, so I experienced it like this. So, Slay, when I show up in baseball tournament at Hoover, people say hello to me. They know who I am a little bit because I've been doing it for a decade, right? Mm-hmm. And that's normal Scotty Scheffler at a PGA Tour event. When Scotty showed up on Friday and Saturday and Sunday, it's like Ron Slay showing up in Nashville at the SEC basketball tournament. It was like, that's my dog. Hey, lock him up. Free Scotty. I mean, I halfway expected him to have, the teardrop, tattooed on the eye, man. It is funny, though, the street cred that he has. I mean, I've never seen the crowd get behind a player more than how it is right now. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It seemed wow. It was amazing to follow, man.
Hey, so this is totally random and completely, but this is 3HL, you know us well. So Slay was talking to me earlier. He said, we were talking about shoulder injuries, NFL, just to give you context. We're not this off the rails, but shoulder injuries, NFL, I had frozen shoulder for a little bit and had to deal with that. And then I had mommy thumb. as well, which Slay told me that you actually had mommy thumb at some point, and I was like, it had to be from him picking up his golf bag.
Hold up.
No.
What
Guess
are we
what?
doing here, dog?
Guess what, BB?
That's your boy.
BB, guess what? I said no. I said, man, when she said it, I was like, man, y'all got something in common. Then I caught myself. I was like, damn, I already let it out now.
I was like, oh, I want to hear about it.
Some things that are just like locker room. Like, I don't need anybody to know that I got mommy thumb. It was not a good situation.
It's just us. It's just us, BB.
Full disclosure. It was basically I had to have my hand in basically a wrist patch for a couple of days. I was pulling a bunch of luggage out to do PGA Tour Live out in Scottsdale. So at least that was kind of cool. But basically the doctor's like, yeah, it's called a mommy thumb. I'm like, what the hell is that? And they're like, yeah, it's basically when you get old and you hurt your kid, you hurt yourself taking care of your kids. And I was like, well, I am old, so I guess that fits. Man, it's like, you're dead to me now.
No, my God.
Well, I'll say this. Yep. I will say this, Burns, though. I said, you know what? It was probably from him slinging his golf bag over his shoulder, going to hit balls or something too many times. So I did stand up for you that your mommy thumb was probably definitely from a golf related incident.
It was. I mean, it was. I'm good, and now I'm getting geared up for trying to get that luggage, and I'll probably end the other hand tomorrow is when I get ready to go to the SEC baseball tournament. I mean, and so by the way, that's a natural transition to the next topic.
Great job.
But, it is wild to this is the probably the most important SEC baseball tournament we've had in a long time. Simply for the fact that there are so many teams with 13 wins, like Vanderbilt, that need to have a big week in order to make sure they're in postseason play.
Which, Vanderbilt isn't really accustomed to, honestly.
Right. So right now, top of the what is it, top of the third, up 2-0.
Yeah.
Vandy on the mound, so that could work out great for them. But then the next matchup on Wednesday would be number 1 Tennessee. What's your overall feel for the field that we have here with the SEC tournament, Pete?
Yeah, I mean, it's good. I mean, Tennessee, what Christian Moore, Blake Burke have done. And I mean, the thing is, Vitello, you can tell this team probably maybe not has the same talent they had 2 years ago when they were fresh on the scene with the daddy hat, but they're really well-rounded and they're well-grounded as well. I think everybody shows up thinking that they're going to be talking trash and they can't stand this Tennessee team. And I think that was 2 years ago. I don't think that that's the team that they have right now. So, I mean, they're good. I mean, between them, Arkansas, A&M, right now, and of course Kentucky, which just came out of Nick Mingione's got that team rolling. I mean, you got 4, if not 5 teams that can legitimately win it all, and then you got teams like LSU that's getting hot. LSU beating Georgia right now. That pretty much assures them 2 more games in Hoover at least, and get them into the tournament. And remember what happened a couple of years with Ole Miss? They were the last team in, and they ended up winning the whole damn thing.
Yeah. So you look at Tennessee, obviously a ton of Vol fans around here, one and done in the tourney last year. And regardless, they're going to host a regional. If they win that, they'll probably host a super regional, right? But what is your take on how teams view this SEC tournament when they are in a position like Tennessee where it doesn't really matter?
They'll be a top 8 seed. So there's nothing really to play here other than, hey, we'd like to keep it healthy for the most part. And, for them, the good news is when they go to a regional, they're talented enough to where they should breeze by a regional with no problem. That was always the problem with Coach Cal and those guys. Is he would say, I don't care about the SEC basketball tournament. They'd go one and done, and when it came down to one and done in the NCAA tournament, they would lose because they weren't ready. But for Tennessee, it's really about more bullpen work, getting Drew Beam and these guys a couple more innings, getting some younger guys in kind of some pressure situations, and making sure the bats pretty much stay hot. But I don't really get concerned about that because I'll tell you this: I've been to Hoover so many times to where on the final championship Sunday, I'll go to the coach and be like either Corbs last year or Kevin O'Sullivan or Jay Johnson, and be like, who the hell are you pitching today? And they'll look at me like, I don't know. Like literally some kid that like is on the bench that like pitches every other Tuesday for us because the arms are so tired at that point.
Well,
great point.
Yeah, you got to rest that. Peter Burns, ESPN SEC Network, right here with us. Peter, this is the SEC, man. It just means more, so we might as well cover a little bit more. What are your thoughts on Jaden suing Florida coach Billy Napier and the Florida booster Hugh Hathcock, I hope I'm saying it right, in federal court over the $13.85 million NIL deal? And getting it signed off on by Kirby Smart. Go get him.
That's crazy.
Well, I mean, listen, Kirby went between. He went over there and got ETN, the great running back. I mean, he is a man possessed right now, especially now with Saban no longer there. He's like, burn it all to the ground. Like, I'm going after everybody. And here's the deal. I mean, that's part of the situation of how these third party collectives kind of got messed up too, because. At some point, Florida really needed to have a marketing win, right? They needed to be, hey, look at how big we are. There were people that told me around Florida that, they kind of liked Rashad, and they didn't think he was the next coming. They didn't like him as much as they liked Nico, right?
Right.
But they needed to have some kind of like, wow, look at Florida, they're in the NIL game, and this is what happens, man. Like nobody knew what the hell they were doing. Nobody knew how to set up these contracts. Now it's a big mess. And it ain't going to get any better any faster. I mean, it's disappointing to say, but you're going to see a whole hell of a lot more of this type stuff until it gets fixed. And I don't know who the hell's going to fix it.
Right. Absolutely.
Ugh, what a mess. Good stuff.
By the way, I can go for like another hour because that means if I'm not on here, I've been telling the kids hush. So if y'all need me to roll to the top of the hour, the hell with these kids. They're in the splash pad.
I feel like that's a request. Like, hey, keep me on. Just keep me on.
Can you please help me out? Yeah. No, we're gonna send you back to the kids and re-injure that mommy thumb.
Thank you. I do appreciate it. All right. Well, Dawn, I love you. Clay, you're dead to me. But this is my boy, so we're good.
Peter, we love you. Can't wait to watch you in Hoover this weekend when you get there, too.
See y'all.
All right. See ya. Peter Burns, SEC Network.
Yeah, man. That was wild story.
I probably should have asked you.
No, it's cool. It's good. No, as much as he give me, shoot.
Oh, yeah.
You better get him, boy. Peter can't wait to get me on. Get me on.
I was going to say, nothing is sacred.
What are the chances this gets mentioned at some point in time over the weekend? From Hoover.
I'm a tweet.
His mommy thumb?
Well, again, remember Tom Hart last season, that's when he brought up the boom boom.
Yeah. I may have to get in touch with Chris Burke. Chris Burke will drop a line on him. Just say something about it.
Peter is never going to say yes to our show again. No. He's used to it.
No question.
But seriously, you brought up the lawsuit. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is this could be opening a ridiculous can of worms.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a big deal.
It is because not only are you going after the university, you're going after the head coach and the booster that was involved in it.
Right.
So at some point, does Billy Napier come out and say, man, that was his doing. He should have did that. Do they start pointing fingers or especially as much turmoil as Florida has going on and you're not winning? And you're coming out the gates against a team like Miami, you need to get things on the same accord, everybody pulling in the same direction. If not, man, the swamp could be drained from this one right here. And the recovery could be tough, Babsy.
I like the swamp drain.
Yeah, I can't wait to see. Yeah, I want to see them alligators dry up.
Well, and here's the other thing, and I think it was Pate that was talking about this. I can't remember, but Josh Pate. But, inside that program, everything is okay. I mean, there's development, there's progress, there's optimism within the team, all of that. But this is another huge blow to the external thought of where Florida is as a football program right now. And that is even more of an issue for Florida right now, for recruiting, for Billy Napier and his control, for them, sticking by their word. All of that is such a big blow again for Florida with this lawsuit that they don't need right now when it comes to fixing what's going on.
No, they don't.
In the swamp.
Not at all. They need to be running from it. You don't want any bad light on you. Like, get this off me.
But see, this is just another example of why this whole NIL thing is an absolute disaster and needs some kind of regulation somewhere to protect the kids too.
What would you do in it, though, Babsy? Like, how would you what would be the cap if it's this much money out here? We're talking about basketball guys.
I mean, basketball's insane right now.
It's nuts. $2 million. Like I was talking about on the Ramon Kelly and Will, and they asked me. I think Will asked me about Dalton Connect and was like, "What was be the change?" Does Chaz understand that Dalton Connect didn't even come for that much money as being reported as being offered to Chaz Lanier? And he asked me, "What did I think about it?" I told him, "That's the difference a year makes. The whole market has changed since then. Wasn't nobody talking about no $2 million last year. We're just now hearing $1 million sounded crazy. Now you're getting guys transferring for 1.2 that was on the second team all SEC, like average 11 points. It's nuts, man. And the longer you wait without a cap being on it, the more
crazy it's going to get.
It is, because time slips away, and if you keep holding out, at some point a team needs you. You say, man, I need 2.5, and maybe you don't even need to win. Maybe you just go to those teams. But I think at some point we're gonna start hearing horror stories like this too, though. Yeah. This 13.85 million not being paid out. It's supposed to be $1 million when he signs. Things like that happen, and when that gets blown up, then I think these collectives are going to be held in a different light, as well as these universities being associated with them if they don't get the cap on it.
And that's.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's an issue, too, for business owners and people that are involved in collectives.
Yeah, you don't want to be associated with that. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
Somebody in the chat said, okay, Brandon, all right, Slay, come on, I can keep a secret. What's really happening with Lanier? Well, he's on campus right now at Tennessee.
Mm-hmm. Tennessee's doing their thing.
They painted the rock.
Yeah, Tennessee.
Come
doing
on
their
home,
thing.
Chaz.
Yeah, they should be getting ready to go to dinner here soon, man. So it's
So there is that.
Yeah, there you go.
I hear he has mommy thumb.
No, mommy's there. That's
good because mommy plays into decisions.
Guaranteed.
Just telling you.
Guaranteed. Yeah, no question.
We'll check in. Joseph from Smyrna, we'll check in with you after the break, talking about this lawsuit and the ripple down effect of that, and kind of wrap up first day of veteran and rookie OTAs for your Tennessee Titans. That's next. Stay with us. Also, can I give away tickets now, Hunk?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Yeah.
Okay, yes. 2 tickets to see the Nashville Sounds host Charlotte on Wednesday at First Horizon Park. This is another winning Wednesday. Babs Prize Closet is open thanks to Artisan Custom Closet. 615-737-1045. Caller number 5. Right now, you win 2 tickets to see the Sounds host Charlotte on Wednesday. What Wednesday is that?
It's a winning Wednesday on a Tuesday.
Is today Tuesday?
Yeah, today's Tuesday.
So this is for tomorrow night.
This is for tomorrow night. So yes.
Tickets tomorrow night. Caller number 5, 615-737-1045. Good luck to you. And don't forget, visit artisancustomclosets.com today. Say goodbye to clutter. Hello to calm with Artisan Custom Closets. All right, Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville. They're the best, and I would love to recommend them to you because I use them to do new windows and doors in my rental property that was 18 years old, and that was much needed. And then I redid my windows and replaced my windows in my home because in the summer, bugs would crawl in the sides of my windows. So yeah, that'll show you that your windows were not put in properly and you need new ones. Maybe this is you. Maybe you just have old windows and doors, or maybe you're like me and they weren't put in properly. They're not good quality windows and you need to redo them. Well, Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville can help you, and you might be surprised to learn how affordable those replacement windows are from Pella. 50% off qualifying installations and no money down, no interest, no payments for 12 months. That's what Pella is offering right now, and they do a phenomenal job from start to finish, and they back everything up with warranty. They also have, on top of the warranty of the windows, a 10-year labor warranty, which is the leading in the industry. Super easy to have them come on out, or you can go to their showroom in Franklin, but it's super easy to have Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville come out. Schedule your free consultation. Check out that offer, PellaNashville.com.
We on?
Tupac Tuesday coming in hard there.
That's right. That's what he's supposed to do. Welcome back into 3HL Radio on 104.5 The Zone, man. We appreciate you guys hanging with us today. A lot of good stuff, covering so much ground. And before we get out of here, we got to hit on these couple of clips. And when we have an opportunity to get a guy on, you know, the Boom Boom Room is active, and we're going to have you pull back the curtain. But this won't be a newcomer that's coming on our show tomorrow. And Tajay Spears.
Yay.
Oh, yeah. We got, he's a veteran of 3HL at this point, right?
Yeah. Well, okay.
You talked to him quite a bit.
I talked to him on the phone. I worked, was it week 1 last year? I worked the Tulane game. Yep. So I had talked to him just because he had graduated and wanted to get his take on the program and all of that. And y'all, did I not come away from that conversation? I was like, this guy is amazing. So we'll get into his story just growing up and all of that too. You're gonna love him even more than you already do.
Yeah.
So that'll be a fun conversation with Tajay tomorrow. OTAs continue for the Titans. Before we hit on some of this sound to lead us out, I want to hit Joseph in Smyrna, who wants to talk about the lawsuit that we mentioned in the last segment with NIL and all of that and everything that is going on. Joseph, what's your take on all of this?
Number one, Ron Slay, let's go Vols.
Let's go, baby.
All day. Why? Because that's all we know.
That's all we know.
Oh, boy.
Go Vols.
Go Vols. All right. On that, with this lawsuit, would this open up the fact that these kids could ask these collectives to go, hey, I need to see that this money is there. Transfer half into my account, and then we'll talk about the other half later. Or I now need to know that this money is true and this money is there before I make my decision.
Man,
yeah. I think it's a disaster.
I think that's a great point, but I know personally of some situations where guys have come into the university, they transferred went into the university, and like right now in this dead period, get there to the school and sign on with the NIL. The NIL helps them get there, and they take a chunk of the money and still transfer again.
Yeah.
Like I saw that in 2 situations that I'm aware of and know, and that's a dicey spot to be in. And I guess but
there's nothing to regulate it.
No, it's not. Like,
I mean, unless there's legal contracts that are signed and all of that, and then that's getting iffy on top of it.
Like that's tough. And
ripple down effect.
It is, man. And like, what do you got to start signing something. Like if you sign the contract with the NIL and they're associated with the school, then do you give a lump sum of it back if you leave out? Like that's why I honestly think it should be a cap on it. I talked about this with B-Hop and Blaine. I think it should be a cap on it. And just like they do professionals, you have a player performance bonus at the end. So if you perform to that level of where they thought the potential could be, where you're worth $1 million, it should be escalators in there. Well, all right, man, here's $200,000. You average 90 yards a game, or it's got to be something to where. And I think that's a little bit what I understood. And I didn't like Saban for coming out talking about it at first, but when you all told me that's what he's kind of meaning in it. Like, you can't have a high school guy come in with potential, give him all that money, and no productivity has been there. What about the guys that have been there and been producing? Like, shouldn't it go to them? They've proven it. They know what their worth is. They've done it on this level. That's a tough spot, man, because you're cutting the legs out of someone when doing it at the same time. It's just
right.
I don't know. And then if that's the case, dude, man, I don't know. Do these minor leagues, when do guys start walking away if the money's not paid and start going to the leagues like the XFL, CFL, when you're talking in football? Like, when do they start doing that? Because one thing about it, now that it's out there, if you can get associated with it, then they're going to run to that bread. It don't make no sense. If that's their goal, to get to the league, and that's the quicker opportunity and it's paying, why would you go the other way?
Yeah.
Especially if you have that type of talent. And they're not paying out, man. I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird spot. No Kenny Money. It says, Slayer, you washing that jersey? No, I'm not washing this
No,
jersey.
he is not. It still has honey mustard on it.
I'll wash it too. I'll wash it when Traylon Burks gets his first touchdown this year. How about that?
Great. We got to wait till 2025.
Well, one person that we don't have to wait for is Brian Callahan. He compared Tony Pollard and Tajay Spears and what it is that he's seen from them so far.
I think Tajay's got a little bit a different route running ability. And Tony's he's a smoother runner. They're both really explosive. Those guys are the ones I'm probably of all the groups that we have. I think those guys are the ones that are the most exciting for me. Just all the different places you can put those guys in the formation, all the different ways you can get them the ball in the screen game, in the passing game. Really, really excited about what they've shown so far. Those guys are two really fantastic players. I'm happy we have those guys.
Ooh, those are some weapons to work with.
Yeah.
So excited about that. You got.
Well, Spears about his route running ability.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
Sheesh. I like that. So unpredictable, Babsy, coming out of the backfield now.
Yes. So Will Levis will have them as weapons. We'll see what happens at at tight end. Obviously, Josh Wiley with another year, Chig another year, and kind of see what they have there. And then obviously all these weapons that the Titans brought in that wide receivers room is the best from top to bottom on paper that the Titans have ever had.
Mm-hmm.
That is fair to say.
Yep.
Now, we don't know if it will translate to the field yet, but on paper, from top to bottom, this is the best this franchise has ever had, and certainly the deepest. So Brian Callahan today on how Will Levis is doing at building chemistry with those new wideouts.
Will's done a really nice job, and I think that having the veteran guys, if you watch, I watched Calvin and I watched Tyler today even, just their natural inclinations to go up and talk about something, go talk about a route, go talk about an adjustment, where that doesn't fall on Will to have to do to the receivers. They sort of help with their experience with him, sharing perspective, sharing a thought process on any number of things that involves the pass pattern, the route technique. Those guys have great feel and understand football as good as anybody. And so it falls less on Will to make corrections as it is to those guys having conversations, which I think is a huge benefit for a young quarterback to have those guys.
Love it. Man, it's going to be fun.
Yes, it is.
This week is going to be fun, too, because we get to hear from players.
Yes,
Tajay Spears will be on with us tomorrow, so make sure you tune in to that.
Yep.
And we get to hear from all these coaches, too, and actually see them all in action.
Yeah.
I love it.
All right.
Good day, Slay. Good job.
Great day.
Jump Honk. Mayor will be back tomorrow.
And how he always signs off. God bless you. Good night. See you later. And all that.
No, that is not it.
That's not how it goes.
That is not it.
See, I only have another part. Well, how does it go?
I don't remember.
See, he started. How does
God
it start?
bless you. No, that's not how it does. Hey, you know what? See ya.
Wouldn't want to be you unless you're Traylon Burks.